could be water at the bottom of the shaft, which presents the possibility of a drowning happening. Even if you survive the fall, you may not be able to get out of the water at the bottom of a shaft. If you have a horizontal drift or adit that's partially flooded, it could hide a deep hole in the floor. So you could be walking along in relatively shallow water and all of a sudden find yourself in water up to your neck and unable to get out.
You have to assume that they're not at all usable. And if you go down a ladder, it may be the upper part of the ladder is pretty good and you get down 30 or 40 feet and then all of a sudden the steps start breaking out from underneath of you. Or you get down to the bottom and then you try to come back out and the steps start breaking as you try to go up and you can't get back out. Again, from a safety standpoint, you never trust ladders and you surely don't trust ropes, because if they've been sitting for any length of time, they're just not reliable.
Well, they didn't protect those winches oftentimes. Somebody walks in an abandoned mine, they're typically looking up at the back or the rib. Most of the deaths that we have in abandoned mines are from people walking in, looking at the back or the rib and falling to their death down a winch.
ね、ずっと行っちゃったら落っこっちゃいますね。結構深い。深いね、これまた。
Well, there's a risk anytime you're around an abandoned mine, such as roof collapsing on you, because they use dynamite and that cracked the rock. And the miners put a post to hold that roof up. But over the time that the mine is abandoned, those posts tend to rot. And that roof will fall down someday and kill whoever's underneath it, if it's a human being or whether it's a chipmunk.
Bad air cannot be detected by human senses in many instances. Many poisonous gases cannot be smelled.
First symptoms of oxygen deprivation is you lose your common sense. And by the time that somebody would be aware that something is wrong, you pass out, your head goes right down into very low oxygen, and you're dead. A lot of deaths in abandoned mines happen because of low oxygen situation.
Nitroglycerin is a very unstable compound. As dynamite ages, the nitroglycerin tends to come out of the filler material and to collect in pools underneath the dynamite box. And so disturbing this pile of dynamite could lead to an explosion.
Probably the most insidious danger in mines, old abandoned mines, are simply running into poisonous snakes. And down in this country, of course, it's always rattlesnakes. In the summertime in particular, as it gets really hot and the snakes get uncomfortable, they'll move into shaded areas, which can be tunnels or small holes in the ground that are on the mining sites. And so if you're not paying attention as you go into a tunnel or you're going into some sort of an open mining feature, but one that has shade in it, the next thing you'll know you can get into poisonous snakes. So that snakes are always an issue anywhere around mining sites.
Well, getting lost is a possibility. Light is a critical thing. Simple tasks like moving 25 feet become incredibly complex. Now, oftentimes what will happen is when you lose light underground, you panic. Lots of the deaths that have happened have been for that reason. People have been underground, they've lost their light, the tendency is to panic, they run into something or run and fall down something. Definite possibility there.